VP. Goal swung, right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb into first. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you after a win, a sweep, a series victory over the Milwaukee Brewers. Rangers take this one today. Day game, 6-3. That after being down 2-0, back-to-back home runs to start the game. Needless to say, it was not looking too good there for a second. Was not looking too good. Rangers come back like they've been doing over the past week or so. This has been happening, y'all. And now they head into the off day tomorrow. A happy flight to New York City to the Big Apple. deGrom Day on Friday. A lot of good stuff trending positively for the Rangers right now. And now we scoreboard watch, right? We see what's going on in Toronto. We see what's going on in Seattle later tonight. We do a little scoreboard watching. We will see if the Rangers can indeed gain some ground either in the division, the wild card, or both. What a sweep. Incredible. I don't think a lot of people had this one on their bingo card. The Rangers sweeping the Milwaukee Brewers, the best team in baseball, record-wise at least. Even more improbable with Peralta, who had not allowed an earned run. Freddie Peralta, coming into this game, had not allowed an earned run since August 5th in over a month. He had not allowed an earned run in 28 innings pitched. It was not a day where you felt awesome about a victory, but you just thought to yourself, you know what? With the way this team is playing right now, maybe they're going to get it done. Maybe they are just going to find a way, and sure enough, they did. I definitely thought, Antonio, I'm with you. I thought maybe they'll get the series. I did not envision a sweep. In fact, I told one of my good buddies who is a Brewers fan, I said to him, I don't think it's going to be a sweep either way. I don't think that the Rangers are going to get swept by the Brewers. I'm not sure the Rangers sweep the Brewers either. I thought it would be 2 out of 3 Rangers, and it absolutely ended up being way better than what I thought. Alex says, feels like 23 all over again. I'm still holding my breath on saying that out loud, Alex, but look, my heart agrees with you. That is for sure. Look, Swolger, if you can make it past New York this weekend, which I think the Rangers, with the way that the pitching lines up, have a pretty good shot to do so. You've got clearly Jacob deGrom, and then you've also got Patrick Corbin. You've got Jacob Latz. Going back-to-back days, I think Corbin or Latz can pitch well enough to get you a win on either Saturday or Sunday. I really do. And by the way, Tyler Mahle is not going to be back this weekend. I know we talked a little bit about Mahle last night and the night before, giving some injury updates. Rangers, I think in large part to how well Jacob Latz has pitched, the Rangers have decided to give Tyler Mahle an additional rehab start. It is likely he will not be back until after the Houston series. So that would be for the Marlins series back at home. The next time the Rangers are in Arlington, they play the Marlins, they play the Twins, and then they have that final series with the Guardians on the road. So I would imagine Tyler Mahle probably not going to be pitching until the Rangers head back to Globe Life when they play the Marlins here in about a week's time or so. We keep on rolling. By the way, I'll just start this off just because obviously I know there's some big news going on today. And I told my guys in the Discord this already, But clearly devastating news today with Charlie Kirk being killed. And look, I've always wanted this channel to be non-political. You guys have maybe been able to pick up on things about me and what I think and what I believe about the world here and there. But I've tried to make this show non-political, and I don't care to get into politics now. I will say this. No one deserves to be killed, and I'm praying for his family and praying for all of his friends and people that he was close with. Very much a tragic moment in our country. Depending on which side you're on, I don't think that matters, right? I don't think I would be feeling any differently if it was somebody on the other side, Democrat, Republican. So look, I don't care to go into a long diatribe or get on and turn this into a big political chat, but I will say, obviously, I know there's a lot of people with heavy hearts today, and praying for our country, praying for Charlie Kirk, his family, his wife and kids, and his friends as well. And I hope we can all unite on that. I know that X and I know that social media, definitely not real life, but I hope that you hear my heart. I definitely don't want to sweep it under the rug, but I also want this channel to be an escape. I want people to be able to come here, talk baseball. We're not numb or ignoring what's going on in the country, but I want this to be a place where people can get a little bit of a break from that. Lord knows we've got enough inundation with social media today with everything going on. So I love all you guys. Hey, this is a day where you think about your loved ones and you make sure that you say all those things that you should be saying more often, right? You send somebody that text, let them know you're thinking about them, let your loved ones know, your friends know that you love them. That's what I take away from this more than anything. Love y'all, and thank you for the support of the show. Let's get back to baseball. So with that being said, we have a number of different angles that we're going to take today. First of all, I want to start by going through players of the game. I want to talk a little bit about Jake Burger. Jake freaking Burger, man. Double today. Huge homers today by Jake that end up really helping the Rangers cut the lead in half from the back-to-back bombs that started this one. But then Burger coming up in the, the fifth inning? Blasting one. Or was it the third inning? I'm getting my times all mixed up here, but I'll say this. Jake Burger, clearly the hero today. It was the bottom of the fifth, that's right. And he has been probably one of, if not the Rangers' best hitter in the second half. It's tough. There's a couple of guys in the running, but if you said Jake Burger, best Rangers second half hitter, there's not going to be a whole lot that I could really argue against you. Jake Burger, in his last 15 games, 349 average with an 1148 OPS. This is Jake Burger in his last 15. Jake Burger in his last 30 games, 302 average with a 879 OPS. Jake Burger's been one of the Rangers' best hitters in the second half, and my goodness, was he valuable today. Very valuable today. Updates on the injuries. Seager's coming back, I think, for maybe the last two series. Think like Twins and Guardians, if I had to guess on that. Twins and Guardians. Hey, appreciate this, Tristan. Yeah, look, I wear this shirt to work a lot. Hey, pretty much, I've got so many Rangers polos, honestly. So I'm coming straight from work, threw on the hat, and here we go. But yeah, no, I love this. World Series champion, anything with the World Series champion logo, I'm here for it, man. Seriously. Absolutely. We keep on rolling. Let's see. What else do we got? Yeah, appreciate all the comments on YouTube with what we were talking about earlier. Thank you so much. 100%. I'm with all you guys. Thank you for those comments. Means a lot. Let's see what else we got. Rooting for the Rangers as a Phillies fan. Phillies fan 1. Thanks for hanging out. Look, one of my good friends at work is a big Giants fan, and the Giants are like 2 games out from the Mets right now for the last wild card spot. So he's going to be a big Rangers fan as well. I think a lot of people are cheering for the Rangers. Caden, I know we were talking about that the other night. Like, why are the Rangers picking up literally every single Seattle player that gets dropped? We just picked up Solano. We picked up Swaggerty way back when. We pick up Dylan Moore. We pick up Rowdy Tellez. Sean Armstrong at one point pitched for the Mariners. You could go on and on. Seriously. Let's see how it all pans out. Wouldn't that be wild, though? Rangers make some deep, crazy run. Or do I even dare say make it to the World Series, win it all? You're looking at all these Mariners players that the Rangers picked up. My goodness. Who do I think we send down to make space for Adolis and Seager? I tend to think Osuna is probably going to be one of the first guys that you send down. I don't think there's any way that they send down Cody Freeman. I don't think there's any way they're going to send down Mike Hellman. I do think the Rangers have some lefty depth. Clearly, you've got Jock Peterson. You've got Josh Smith. You've got a number of guys that you can bring off. Rowdy Tellez is another one. I think it feels like with Seager and Adolis, it might be something like Osuna, and then, I don't know, Rowdy Tellez is sitting there as well. I know I just brought his name up. I am curious what happens, but I don't see any way that they send down Hellman or Freeman. That would be crazy. Yeah, Frankie, appreciate the comment, man. We talked about that a little bit earlier. If you're just joining in, absolutely. A lot of prayers being thrown up today, 100% on that. Blue Squad, you can get this hat on New Era. Go to New Era, download the app. They give you a little discount if you buy the hat on the app instead of on the website. So go to the New Era app. I buy all of my hats pretty exclusively from New Era because they have the biggest selection. So get this hat from New Era, man. It's a snapback A-frame. Beautiful. I love it. Love it, love it. Yeah, Max, look, I did not expect the sweep today. Appreciate you hanging by. Brian, same thing. Thanks for stopping by. These are the real ones, right? We've talked about this. When fans from the opposing team show up to the show after a loss, that's how I get through the roof levels of respect for you. You show up and you're not just coming in to troll after you win. I appreciate you guys a lot. A lot of respect for you guys. Thanks for stopping by the show. We keep rolling. It was nice to have a sweep today. Look, there's a lot left to be accomplished. There really is, y'all. A lot left to be accomplished here. Brian, I'm with you. We're going to talk about Merrill Kelly a little bit. Merrill Kelly did not have his best stuff today. Look, the box score is not super pretty, although, look, he was an out away from a quality start. But Merrill Kelly gives up 10 knocks today, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks, a couple of bombs to start the game. It wasn't Merrill's best outing, but he pitched well enough to keep the Rangers in the ball game and really settled after giving up those first 2 homers. And then the bullpen. Hobie Milner, is he goated once again? Like, we were going through a little bit of a rough patch with Hobie there. He was so good for so long. And look, he's come in the past couple of games and really shut things down for us. Good to see him pitching well. Robert Garcia extends his scoreless streak. We'll knock on wood for him right now. RG with his 15th hold of the season. Sean Armstrong gets a hold. Phil Maton comes in and gets the save. The bullpen combined, let's see here. Bullpen combined for 3 1/3 innings of shutout baseball and only allowed 2 base runners. That was your bullpen today. Beautiful outing from them. Absolutely. And then look, there weren't a whole lot of other performances to highlight. I mean, look, I don't want to bring this vibe down at all. A sweep is a sweep is a sweep. The Rangers are finding ways to win, and that's all that matters. That being said, if you take away Jake Berger today, the Rangers had 4 total hits. They did walk 5 times. That's pretty huge. My point, the offense could still be better. And I think that, let's go glass half full on that. The Rangers are still winning these ball games without the offense really, really clicking. I know Mike Hellman is on fire. I know they've got a couple of individuals that are hot right now. We're by no means discounting that. But it's not like you've seen the Rangers put up these double-digit hit performances. A lot of what they've done is 5 or 6 hits. They get a big homer here, a big homer there, 5 or 6 hits. So for me, it's actually, I think, kind of encouraging. You're winning these games without the offense really clicking. Now, I know it'd be easy to go the other way and be a little bit negative, see it glass half empty. Man, they're getting lucky. I've already heard some people kind of throw that out. They're getting lucky right now, man. 5, 6 hits. You're getting the big homer. They're too dependent on the big shot, on the big fly. I tend to say, you know what? They're finding ways to win even when the offense isn't clicking 100%. And that to me is awesome. Awesome. We keep on rolling. Caden, clearly not a lot of us are hoping for a Mariners sweep today, but you know what? With how they're playing, I don't think any of us are going to be shocked. Julio, you were at the game? That is awesome, man. Carson, appreciate the comment, man. Yep, I totally agree with you on that. Absolutely. We talked about that a little bit earlier on the show if you're just getting in, but totally agree with you. Absolutely. Texas Carnage, agree with you as well. Definitely. Rest in peace for sure. Absolutely. Not to mention a balk helping out as well. Yeah, look, sometimes things have to go your way. We've talked about it. You have to be lucky a little bit when it comes to the sport of baseball. You have to get some fortunate breaks at times. Good teams, they take advantage of those. Teams can hand you the game on a silver platter. I mean, I think back to that game that we had in extra innings against Houston. Remember that extra inning games against the Stros where we went like 12 innings and literally Houston was handing us the game, making errors, walking people, and we just couldn't get it done. Finally, we made it happen. You have to put yourself in good positions so you can actually take advantage of these fortuitous moments. One of my favorite baseball coaches of all time, one of my high school coaches, still stay in touch with him. Awesome dude. He would always say, luck is labor using correct knowledge. Always stuck with me. You know what the point of that is? The Rangers worked a lot of good at-bats in that inning. And you know what? The balk is a little bit lucky. But the Rangers worked hard in that inning to put guys on, to load the bases. And then they got a couple fortuitous breaks. I love that. You're not getting a balk to score a run unless you worked hard in the inning to get the guy to third base. We'll take it. We'll 100% take it. Caden, we'll 100% take this too, by the way. The Stros losing, 100%. By the way, what's going on around the league? We gotta pull this up right now. I know that the Mariners don't play till late tonight, and right now it is 1-0 Houston in the bottom of the third. Look, Toronto clearly vibing right now, feeling good. I think that regardless of the score right now, I feel pretty confident that the Jays can pull this one out. It's going to start to get mayhem. If Houston loses this game, and let's just say Seattle wins, which Rangers Nation, I know we're not really wanting, but let's say Mariners and Rangers win, like Houston is in a tailspin, man. Houston's almost got to win this game. Look, there's a lot of baseball left to be played, right? We just played game 147. We got 15 games left. I know it doesn't feel like that many. It's a lot of games still. 15 games, a lot can happen in 15 games. It just can. We know how quickly things can turn. But I'll say this, Houston is just not in a great place right now. We read out the numbers. They're 3 wins in their last 10 games. If they don't win today, you're talking 3 wins in your last 11 games. It's not a great stretch right now for the Astros. I don't think anybody's sad about it, by the way. If they were to lose today, would the Mariners overtake them for first place with a win? Is that what happens? Who would have thought that with how big of a lead the Astros had at certain points? Wild. Very wild. We keep on rolling. Appreciate all you guys. Brian, I have noticed, and I just love the at-bats that the Rangers have been working. A big problem when the Rangers were really, really slumping was you would have them do these 1, 2, 3 ABs where they take strike 1, they swing at a bad strike 2, and then they get called out on a painted pitch on strike 3. Jonah Heim, Josh Young, A lot of guys, honestly, half the lineup was having at-bats like that at different times. Great to see working counts. Like with today, Freddie Peralta, the Rangers did well to make the pitch count, get up, put him in spots where he really had to labor. It was a big reason why they were able to break through against him. The approaches have definitely been better. Brian, great comment. Great comment. I think, does anybody know? Colby, this is a great question. What was the furthest ahead that Houston was? I mean, I thought they were up 10 games on us at one point. Am I wrong with that? Weren't the Astros up 10 games on the Rangers at one point? You guys let me know. Off the top of my head, without being able to look it up, I just don't know. It feels like it was at least 9 games that Houston was up at one point. At least 9. And maybe more than that. Maybe 10 and a half. You guys correct me if you know the number. Feels like the Astros had a very big lead on us in the division at one point. 10? I feel like it was at least 9, but I feel like it's more like 10 and a half at one point. They were up 12. We're going to have to figure this out. I hope that there's been somebody that's officially reported on this, but I definitely know it was double digits. Feel really confident about that. But the Rangers have done well to shrink that gap. Look, it happened last year with Seattle. Remember Seattle? Caden, you probably remember this. I'm not trying to rub salt in the wound, my guy, but Seattle was up 10 games in the division last year, and they blew a 10-game lead. It is wild. Like, it's what we're trying to tell y'all. Like, in the MLB season, finishing it out, the last 15, 20 games, you always have these crazy stretches. Either a team gets smoking hot and comes out of nowhere to make the playoffs, or you have this team that's been steady all year suddenly soil the bed the last 10, 15 games down the stretch. Happens every year. And, of course, we're hoping it's the Astros that's going to soil the bed down the stretch, and the Rangers that are going to be surging. We will see. Time will tell. But at this point, I'm just taking it one game at a time, and right now the Rangers, they are winning one game at a time, and it's a beautiful thing to see. We keep on going. We're going to keep you posted on that Houston score. Again, the Mariners do not play till later tonight. 8:40 Texas time start, by the way, if you're wondering when that Mariners game is going to be on. So we shall see if the Cardinals can salvage a game in that series. That'd be huge. You get a Houston L, you get a Mariners L, you gain a full game on each. That would be something special, 100%. Keep on rolling here. Astros are up 11 games over the Rangers on July 7th. Haven't been higher than that. 11 games. 11 games. Wow. Be impressive. It's one of those storybook things. If the Rangers can do something special this year, you look back and you say 11 games out of first place at one point. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now, the rest of the game today, let's focus in on a couple of individual performances. Wyatt Langford, hitless again today, but 2 walks. Great to see him on base. Josh Smith, 2 runs scored, had a hit, had a walk. So look, we've been giving Smitty a hard time up at the leadoff spot. He's actually had a couple games in a row getting on base multiple times. Good for him. I still say I'd love to see them retool that position in the lineup in the offseason. But I think for now, clearly they are all in, just completely sold out. Josh Smith is your leadoff hitter. Jock Peterson, 0 for 3 with an RBI. Jock did have a ground out, a force out that ended up scoring a run with the bases loaded. Look, you got to put the ball in play, but last 7 games for Jock have not been great. 3 for his last 17, 176 batting average over his last 7. You still just have not seen Jock really have that sustained heater. That being said, his last 30 games, 812 OPS, not bad. Not bad at all. You would love to see him just get on an absolute heater over the last 5-6 weeks here. And I'm including playoffs in that, the optimistic person that I am. But Jock today, 0 for, does have a big RBI that I think tied the game at that point. Jake Berger, we already talked about. He's your offensive player of the game. 2 for 3, 3 RBI. Had a walk as well. Berg was on fire today. 729 OPS on the year, 246 batting average, and Berger hits number 15 and 16 today. Josh Young 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. Jungle Cat has had some ups and downs over his last 7 games. Jungle Cat is hitting 160. Not super great. The OPS is at 432 over his last 7. You wide frame it a little bit. Last 15 games is much better, but it's been a rough past week for Josh Young. Couple of strikeouts today as well. Kyle Higashioka, same stat line, 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. Higgy has not been known to be a super great hitter at Globe Life. Has had some big knocks. Had one last night that drove in a run, made it 5-3. But tonight he falls back to earth a little bit, reverts a bit back to what he has normally done at home. 0 for 4, 2 Ks. Alejandro Osuna, 1 for 3 with the walk. Great stat line for him, trying to get that average back over the Mendoza line. Cody Freeman, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. And then Ezekiel Duran eventually took over for him, but did not get an official AB. Rowdy Tellez also had an RBI. He came in, pinch hit for Ezekiel Duran. Dylan Moore made an appearance. Rangers were maxing out the second base position today. They had 3 subs for Cody Freeman. Duran, Tellez, and Moore. Mike Hellman stays hot. He went 1 for 4 with a run scored today as well. OPS 928 for Mike Hellman. Outstanding. Rangers were only 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Kind of going to my point. They got the big hit today from Berger. Big hits today from Berg, I should say. 6 left on base. Josh Smith did have a stolen base. We talked about the bullpen. We talked about Merrill Kelly. Overall, the bullpen, the pitching continues to just be so reliable for us. You're talking about a team that, only gave up a grand total of 7 runs in this series. 7 runs over 3 games. I think 0 on Monday, 4 yesterday, 3 today. 7 runs in 3 games is what this pitching staff allowed to the best team in baseball. My goodness. And this is like historic stuff. I know that the Rangers maybe aren't close to like setting records per se, but this is one of the best pitching seasons in the club history that I can remember. Maybe there's a better one somewhere way back when. I can't think of a better season the Rangers have had pitching than this one. Can't think of one. Jamie, appreciate the gift, man. Jamie, yes, sir. Let's go Rangers. Ron Lee, appreciate the comment, man. Absolutely. Young guys getting it done. Lulu says, I'd like to see more Dustin Harris. I would have thought against a righty, like eventually you could throw Dustin Harris back in there. You know what? When somebody was asking me who was going to go back down, it might be Osuna and Harris now that I think about it. I don't know if they're going to keep Osuna up over a guy like Rowdy Tellez per se. I think it might be Dustin Harris and Osuna. We'll see. You figure you got Hellman, you got Langford, you got Cody Freeman playing in the outfield, you got Josh Smith that can play in the outfield. In a pinch, Dylan Moore can probably go out there in the outfield. Zeke Duran can play outfield. I don't really think Osuna and Dustin Harris you have to keep around for defensive purposes. Now, look, I like Osuna a lot. You guys know this. My longtime listeners, you guys know I love Alejandro Osuna, but I just kind of feel like he might be one of the first guys out. We'll see. Dylan Moore, he might be another guy that you look at. Dylan Moore, Dustin Harris, Osuna. Those 3 guys kind of feel like first guys out. Appreciate the GGs, Jamie. And it was a good game today. Absolutely. 7 games above 500 for the first time this season. Love that. Good to see you, my friend. Keith, how sweep it is. Yes, sir. Love it. Jock with the hustle to get the first on a scoring play. Yes, Jock Peterson legged out. It was going to be a double play. He legs it out. Rangers score a run. That was big. That was absolutely huge. Rangers are absolutely taking the Mariners leftovers right now. Hey, Ron Lee, appreciate it, man. Thank you for the kind words. I love having you guys here. Appreciate the comments. All y'all's comments help keep the show fresh. You guys know I could rap on forever and ever about my Rangers, but I like the different perspectives. I like hearing your guys' point of view. So, no, thank you. Sean, what a sweep. Chandler, I am really excited to see deGrom pitch against the Mets on Friday. That is going to be a huge game. Huge game. That should be national TV. deGrom going back to Queens to take on the Mets, his former squad. I cannot wait, and I hope he gives us something really special. Like, really, really special. I would love to see 7 innings, no earned runs. I'm just trying to manifest it right now, speak it into existence. I would love to see deGrom just go dominate the Mets in the Big Apple. That would be insane. Hey, Gay, appreciate all the kind words, man. Look, and I'll say it right back at you. I appreciate and I love that we have fans from not just the Rangers, but opposing teams coming in, especially the Mariners fans. We talked about it on the show last night. Give me hanging out with a Mariners fan over an Astros fan any day. Look, any of my Astros fans hanging out, nothing personal. Some of y'all are good eggs, but I'll tell you what, the Mariners fans, a lot of them are real ones. Always coming and hanging out, win or loss, a lot of you guys. Appreciate all y'all. Manifest deGrom first no-hitter against his former team. That would be insane. That would be crazy. It really would be. I would love for the offense to back him up as well. Rangers, by the way, Gio, this is a good stat. They're 1 win away from matching last year's win total at 78. By the way, this reminds me, speaking of win totals, I said that the Rangers were going to go over 85.5 wins. Over 85.5 wins. I got a little pushback from some people. Look, I said that I thought they were going to win 90 games. That could still happen, but they would have to have an epic run here to win 90. I still think they can get to 86 games and cash that over 85.5, which is what it was at the beginning of the season. Jamie, love that gift, by the way. Sean, yeah, I did. Look, I said last night, like, bro has gone 28 innings. Freddie Peralta, the Brewers starter from today we're talking about. Bro has gone 28 innings without giving up a run. And then I followed it up. You could say he's due. He's due to give up something. And sure enough, this was the day when the wheels fell off the wagon a little bit for Freddie Peralta. Don't mind if they did against my Rangers, against our Rangers. It's a great thing to see Rangers working some good ABs against Peralta today, putting on some big swings. Jake Berger especially. It was huge. It was huge. I think that is what unites us, Sean, is the hatred for the Astros, absolutely. The strong dislike for the Houston Astros, definitely a uniting force. I will agree with you on that. 13-2 to get to 90 would be insane. If they can go 13-2 and win 90 games, whoa. Like, whoa. It could happen. It could happen. But 13-2 over the next 15 games would be insane. I'll take 87. I'll continue to take 87. I love Hellman as well. I appreciate the comment, man. Hellman's great. And he had another hit today. Highest OPS on the team, although doesn't quite have the qualifying ABs, but still. If Rangers don't lose a series the rest of the way, they would finish at least 87 wins. There we go. There we go. Keith, this is a legendary quote. Like the kid, JP, right? That was his name, wasn't it? JP from Angels in the outfield. It could happen. 90 wins. It could happen. Love that, man. Angels in the outfield, classic. 88 wins sounds great. I'll take 88 wins all day long. That sounds great. Let's see. What else we got? Only good Mets pitcher they have in this series is McLean. We are going to preview the Mets series here in just a little bit. We are ahead of schedule. I'm going to continue to take your guys' comments and questions. So if you got something you want to throw my way, you got something that you want to send out for us to debate in the chat, drop it. Absolutely. We'll be checking comments on every platform every so often. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. If you haven't hit that like button on YouTube yet, hit that like button. If you're on TikTok, double tap that screen a couple of times. I know it might not seem like a big deal, but it helps get our lives out to more and more Rangers fans, more and more baseball fans. So thank you so much. Appreciate all the support. And look, want to say a special thank you to all of my paid members on YouTube, paid subscribers on TikTok, and everybody that's given a gift today as well. there's tons of ways you can support the show. Just being here is huge, is absolutely huge. So I just want to say a special thank you. And look, if you're wanting to take your support of me and the show to the next level, I did open up a few months ago a subscription, $2.99 a month, gets you exclusive access to our Right on Rangers Discord, which I have loved over the summer months and into the fall. It's been great. I would highly recommend it. I'm a little biased, but I think my guys who are hanging out that are a part of the Discord can back me up on this. It's a special group. Would love to have your voice in there. Just have to subscribe. TikTok, left side of the chat, you'll see that little subscribe button. Tap that if you want to become a paid subscriber. And if you're on YouTube, I will drop the link in the chat, and we are going to get into the preview of the Mets series here in just a second. There's that link for you guys on YouTube or X, wherever you're hanging out. Thank you for considering it. If it's not for you, no hard feelings, but thank you for continuing to support the show in whatever ways you can. Means so much. Thank you to all you guys. All right, we keep on rolling. So the series coming up with the Mets. The Mets right now, by the way, are reeling a little bit. Reeling. 4-game losing streak for the Mets coming into this series. They have won 3 of their last 10 games. They currently sit 9 games out in the NL East. Philly's kind of running away with that one, right? But in the wild card, the Mets currently hold the 3rd spot in the wild card, which the Rangers are chasing in the AL. We said it probably 20, 25 minutes ago. The Giants are 2.5 games behind the Mets at this moment. They did lose today. They were 2 games behind the Mets coming into today. They lose today. Mets were idle. Actually, the Mets are playing Philadelphia right now, aren't they? Okay, so that could potentially change. I thought the Mets, for whatever reason, had the day off today. I don't know why I thought that. It's a Wednesday, not a Monday or Thursday. Whatever. The 3rd cup of coffee hasn't kicked in yet, I guess. But the Giants are going to be big Rangers fans, Giants fans, big Texas fans this weekend. Mets up 2.5 games on the Giants for that last wild card spot. So the Mets, we might be catching them at a good time. They are a very good team at home, much like the Rangers. The Mets are 45-27 at home. They are 31-42 on the road. 31-42. It is scary how identical these two teams are when it comes to the home and away record. Rangers at 47 wins at home. Mets are at 45 wins at home. And the Rangers are 30-42 on the road. Mets 31-42 on the road. It's eerily similar how these teams both play. So you are getting a Mets team that is probably going to be happy to be back at home. They're in Philadelphia right now, playing the Phillies. So we'll see what version of the Mets we get. Hopefully this 4-game skid in their heads a little bit. Rangers can take advantage of the skid. That is the plan. We're going to go ahead and preview the pitching matchups for you guys, and then we are going to start wrapping things up. We won't be going quite as long today without any live or play-by-play or colored commentary. It's kind of how it goes, but you know what? We'll still get a good hour in here on the show. And again, keep your comments coming, keep your questions coming. I will continue to try and check those during the chat. Texas Rangers, LTO, yes, sir. Astros only up 1-0 on Toronto, Sean. Yeah, a lot gonna still need to take place in that game for sure. Trap series could be, absolutely. Yeah, Chris, I got to agree with my guy Sean. It's just some friendly rivalry banter, man. No need to take it too serious, for sure. No need. All right, we keep on going. Houston definitely did choke yesterday. They were up 3-1 late. Didn't work out 100%. We'll see what happens. We shall see. All right, Friday's game. deGrom, obviously the big focus. 11-7, 2.78 ERA. Tong is going to be pitching for the Mets. And look, neither team has a lot of ABs against the opposing pitcher. The Mets have 3 guys that have faced deGrom in their careers. None of them have done particularly well. Sterling Marte is 167, hitting 167 in his career against deGrom. I think that's 2 for 12, if I'm not mistaken. Mullins is 1 for 7 Juan Soto is 3 for 15. He does have a home run, but batting .200 against deGrom in his career. Nobody on the opposite side for the Rangers has faced Tong, the Mets pitcher, probable starter for tomorrow. Tong is a right-hander, so we will see the Rangers' right-handed starting pitching lineup come into play. Tong has pitched in 2 major league games, so very, very green. He's coming off a start against Cincinnati on September 6th, in which he gave up 4 earned runs in 6 innings, did strike out 6, walked 4, so walks were a bit of an issue. In his major league debut against Miami, he went 5 strong, 1 earned run, 6 Ks. So this is a guy that can get some swing and miss, but is very, very green in his major league career. We shall see what he's got for the Rangers on Friday night in Queens. So after that matchup, deGrom versus Tong on Friday. Saturday's matchup, we'll preview that. Not going to go through the lineups. We'll do that on Friday night. But it looks like on Saturday it is Corbin versus, is it Sproat? Not going to get all these guys' pronunciations right on the Mets, so you have to forgive me on that one. Corbin pitching for us. Sproat pitching on Saturday for the Mets. 4.50 ERA. Hey, Maggie, appreciate the gift. Thank you so much for the generosity. And then on Sunday, I think it is going to be Jacob Latz, and they have announced that. Jacob Latz versus McLean. McLean has been very, very good. 1.42 ERA in 5 starts. And his most recent start, 5 1/3, 1 earned run against the Phillies. So pretty good. We'll see what ends up happening. But I think the Rangers have a very good chance of getting 2 out of 3. You've got some really good pitching coming into play. deGrom, but then also Corbin and Latz have both pitched very well. Corbin has been a little interesting away from Arlington. That's my only concern about Saturday. Patrick Corbin has not been nearly as good on the road as he has been at home. Now with Jacob Latz, I don't know if we have as big of a sample size. I'll look at the home and road splits for Jacob Latz right now, see if we can figure anything out. But not sure if he's pitched enough for us to really get a true beat on this. We'll see, though. The splits on the road. Jacob Latz has a 3.43 ERA. At home, he has a 2.31 ERA. So he's a run better at home than he is on the road. It's kind of a common theme. Feels like kind of a common theme for Rangers pitchers. Most of them are much better at home than they are on the road. Sean, yes, Malley is getting pushed back most likely until the Marlins series, which is the next home series for Texas. The Mariners don't play till tonight, Maggie. The Astros, I believe, are up 1-0 right now over the Blue Jays. So we'll keep on updating if we do have updates, but that is the situation right now. It is 1-0 in the top of the 5th in Toronto. And again, 8:40 p.m. tonight. The Mariners and the Cardinals will square off. Last game of that series, Mariners have won the first 2, going for the sweep tonight. Hopefully the Cardinals can steal one. That's the plan, at least. That is the plan. We keep on rolling. Let me clean up the YouTube chat a little bit. Sorry about that, y'all. I know we get some knuckleheads coming in the chat. Look, I'm pretty tolerant, but any kind of weird stuff like that, I got to hit it with the block. I don't mind Astros fans. I don't mind trash talk. But when you're just coming in, giving us some nonsense, no thank you. Sorry about that, YouTube crew. Appreciate this, Francisco. Love this hat, man. The old school tee. Love everything about this hat. Quickly a favorite for me. Do the Rangers make a late playoff run? Yes, I think right now. I did say it a couple weeks ago, but I do think they find a way to make it to the playoffs. I really do. Tristan, enjoy. You'll be at the game on Tuesday. So you're going to be in Houston, Tristan? You're going to be at the game in Houston? Is that right? Are you talking about the home series? Let me know. Is the game on MLB Network on Friday night? Is that right? Like I said, I don't pay attention to the TV stuff unless it's a Fox game. But cool. That's awesome. I mean, that's a big game. deGrom going back to the stomping grounds. That's huge. And Francisco, yes, it does appear that Dolly is going to be back for the weekend if all goes well. Seager's going to need a little bit more time. Tristan, you're going to be in enemy territory. Let's go. That's what I do. Pretty much The only games I go to are on the road. We went to 2 Padres games. It was great. Those are about the only kind of games I go to. Last home game I went to was game 1 of the World Series. Good stuff, man. That's awesome. I hope they get a win for you. Definitely been in a place they feel pretty comfortable in, talking about Houston right now. Let's see. Went to 2 games this series, Zane did, and came out 2-0. That is awesome. The Rangers are 2-0 since I started wearing this hat. We're going to keep this hat on until it is not working any longer, Sean. How about that? We're going to keep wearing this hat until it does not work any longer. Hey, Mike Hellman and Cody Freeman continue to pick up wins. The Rangers are nearly unstoppable with those guys. And look, I absolutely am making a video on the impact that they have had. I'll throw Jake Berger in there for good measure, do a little game recap. But the Rangers have been on fire when Cody Freeman, when Mike Hellman are in the starting lineup. The numbers, they don't lie. The Rangers have to find a way to continue to start Cody Freeman and to continue to start Mike Hellman in the starting 9. Have to. It is essential. Mariners in Texas going to pass Houston? I sure hope so. JJ, good to see you, man. I'm starting to believe as well. I think the Rangers, they have a legitimate chance. Look, I'm trying not to get wrapped up in, division versus wild card. I'm really trying my best. It is hard. It's hard. Like, I would love to see them overtake Houston, overtake Seattle, win the division. It'd be great. But let's just get playoff baseball. Let's start there. Let's just get to some playoff baseball, man. Seriously. Hey, appreciate everybody that's followed while they're on the live. If you still haven't followed yet, go ahead, hit that follow button right quick. We'll be back on Friday doing the Mets game. We'll do Saturday, Sunday as well. We're here pretty much after every Rangers game. A little bit later today. Game ended a couple hours ago, but of course, during the middle of the workday, hard to go live in the 8th or the 9th, but we're here now, and we're here pretty much every day. This Saturday, we will be live after the Rangers and Longhorns game. I don't know if my Rangers-themed Longhorns hat is going to make it here on time. I bought it on eBay a couple days ago. I hope it shows up. But if the Rangers are still winning by Saturday, we might have to just stick with this hat. We might just have to stick with this one. JP, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you, brother. Let's go, Rangers. Francisco, I'm with you 100%. Just give me October baseball. I don't care if it's through the division win or through the wild card berth. Just give me October baseball. Clint, yes, sir. Rangers are unreal right now with what they're doing. No, I don't think anybody expected a sweep of the Brewers. And look, we're not done. We're not, hanging our hat on this Brewers series and taking a breather. It's pedal to the metal, but what a huge 3-game sweep of the best team in baseball. Absolutely huge. Brian, I did read that too. Marcus Semien, the comment says, for all y'all on TikTok, Marcus Semien trying to come back this season. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some shakeups in the lineup. I've got to think it's probably Harris, Osuna, Dylan Moore as maybe your first 3 guys. On the pitching side, I'm very interested as well what they're going to do on the pitching side. I got to think that Cole Winn is maybe an option. I actually got rid of Bosley. I wonder, is Cole Winn the next guy that might end up getting sent down? He's been so good, though. I'm just trying to think, who else would you send down pitching-wise? I just don't know. I mean, I'd have to look right now at the 40-man. I'm going to do it. I want to make sure I'm not just going off the cuff here. Let me look and see what the 40-man looks like and what the active roster looks like. But they are going to have to make some tough decisions. When Tyler Mahle comes back, it's going to be a tough decision who they end up sending. Right now, looking at the pitchers on the active roster, Carl Edwards, I know we just signed him, but Carl Edwards maybe. You've also got Curvelo, probably he's an option. Curvelo, Carl Edwards. When Mahle comes back is what we're mainly talking about right now with the pitching, right? Feels like it's going to be one of those guys. And yeah, with the hitting situation, you feel like Dylan Moore, you feel like Dustin Harris, probably the first two that might go. Alejandro Osuna potentially behind them. I think Osuna probably sticks over Dustin Harris. We'll just have to see what happens. I have that same shirt, wear it every Friday to work. Love it, man. Look, anything that had this logo on it, like hats, shirts, I pretty much bought it. I feel like I wear the same shirts a lot. I love that you've got that routine and tradition because that's kind of how I roll too. Anytime the Rangers have a day game, I always wear a Rangers polo to work, always. So I love that I'm not the only one. I love that you have that rhythm too. Slam to Jackson, what's good, man? Love having you on the show. Thank you for all your support, brother. Truly. Keep on rolling. Dolly is Houston's daddy. He should be back. Adoli should be back for that Houston series, which I'm pumped about. Adoli should be back for that one. I do think Osuna over Harris, JP. I'm with you on that. I do think it. If Adolis is back for the Houston series, that would be phenomenal. I would love to see Dolly back in Houston where bro just turns into a unit, a straight up unit when he goes down to Houston and plays in that stadium. Wouldn't you just love he comes off the IL and mashes a home run in 3 straight games down there? Just something crazy. That would be in line with what's happening right now with the rest of the team, honestly. You just can't explain it, but it's happening, and you love every minute of it. JP, I'm with you. I'd like to think he is going to be licking his chops to get back to Houston and do some damage. Just soaking in all the booze. Bro just feeds off of it. Feeds off of the booze. I love it. Absolutely love it. Slam to Jackson. He has. The comment is, Dolly's had his struggles this year. But, man, he goes to Houston and he just becomes a different animal. You would absolutely love to see him do something special in 3 huge games. I mean, make no mistake. If the Rangers do decent this weekend in New York, that Astros series is by far the biggest of the season with playoff, maybe even division ramifications on the line. That is going to be such a huge midweek series. Feels like playoff baseball already, honestly. As long as you don't wet the bed in Queens, I think that series is going to set up very nicely. You know, you drop a few games up in the Big Apple. It might make the series a little bit less tantalizing. But you win 2 out of 3 up in New York. The Houston series sets up for a playoff spot, basically. You take 2 out of 3. You sweep the Stros. Not an easy thing to do. We're not saying that it is. But that is going to be theater. Straight up theater, man. 100%. If the Rangers do make the postseason, I wonder if the young guys' lack of playoff experience will be a problem. I don't see it that way, Brian. I think you got to go back to Evan Carter, right? Was the playoff experience a problem with Evan Carter? I just don't think these young guys know any better, man. Right? These JV Rangers, man, they don't know any better. They just go out there and mash. They don't think about it. They don't think about the moment. They're not thinking about all the struggles the Rangers have had. These JV Rangers, man, they just keep on mashing no matter what's going on. So I kind of feel like that's what they're going to do regardless. I think they are going to continue on with what they're doing right now, which is putting together some really high-quality at-bats. A couple of y'all already mentioned that. I think they're going to be okay. I think they're almost too young to really understand. I think Evan Carter kind of talked about that a little bit. Like, you ask Evan Carter about the 23 run, bro has to go back and look at highlights. Like, you're just doing the best you can to keep your head above water. And I don't think you're really understanding the weight of the moment. And a lot of these guys, they're getting spoiled. Playoff baseball, your first year in the league. World Series, your first year in the league. And then you've got some guys that have never been to a World Series or an ALCS, and they get to that stage and, they're puckering up a little bit, right? They're overthinking it. They're trying to do too much. It's almost kind of an ignorance is bliss, I think, for some of the young guys. I really do. Slam to Jackson, this is huge, though. The emotion in the dugout has been refreshing. I don't know if some of y'all are in love with the robotic nature that the Rangers possessed for really the last couple of seasons. You had a couple of energy guys. You had Hedgie in 23. You had Doley. You had a couple of big personalities. But, I mean, look, the Rangers for the past 2 years have been a bit of a robot factory. I mean, and for Corey Seager, that's great because he's going to give you continued good production. But the Rangers have been a bit of a robot factory for the past 2 seasons. I love seeing the emotion. I love seeing the energy. I mean, look, you have to harness it. You have to be careful with it. You can't have that be, total reckless abandon. But I do think it's helping the club. I do think it's changing the dynamic of the team. Look, you can't win a World Series on vibes alone, but I definitely think it's an ingredient in the mix. Good vibes, positive energy, all those things I think do contribute. You've got to have production on the field. Like the great Rowdy Tellez once pontificated, you definitely love to be a good clubhouse guy and you love to have good connections and positive relationships in the clubhouse, but what really matters is what you do when the lights are bright. Great quote from Rowdy, by the way, because that is what matters. Are you going to produce when the lights are brightest? It helps when you're a raw energy guy and you're producing. But look, I got to say, it does feel like it has helped in a big way get this team back on track. Brian, you might be onto something. You might be onto something there. Losing Hedgie, it might have been a bigger deal than what we really thought. Really. Swolger, you're right. Mets are pretty awful right now. You got to win this series. You got to win 2 out of 3. I don't think you need to sweep, but you got to win 2 out of 3. Grayson, I'm a diehard Rangers fan. Watched almost all the games this season through the ups and downs. Right now, has a different feeling in the dugout and in the crowd. Grayson, couldn't agree with you more. Thank you so much for the comment, man. Thank you for supporting the show. Greatly appreciate it. Antonio, he hadn't shown up yet. I know he said we were going to get swept by Milwaukee. Green Arrow just kind of says we're going to get beat by everybody, though. He really does. He's just trying to stir us up. He really is. Slam to Jackson. Great minds think alike, my guy. Great minds think alike. Seriously. Appreciate you. What else we got? Yeah, look, it is a different vibe, 100%. The whole team feeds off Seager's emotions the only few times he gave it. Yeah, when Corey Seager shows the emotion, it definitely hypes everybody up. And he's not going to give that to you for just anything. But you go back and you watch the Game 1 highlights, which I do often, Game 1 of the 23 World Series. That dugout is freaking lit. When he hits that home run and turns to the dugout and starts hooting and hollering, man, that dugout goes wild, and you love to see it, man. Love to see it. What do we got? Tristan says 2-0 Astros. That is unfortunate. But hey, like we said, it was a 2-run lead in the 8th inning and the 9th inning. Shoot, yesterday, and the Blue Jays made something happen. Hopefully it can happen again today. Astros 2-0 up on the Jays in the top of the 6th. All right, y'all, we're winding it down. Sarah, I know, not what we wanted to see, but it is what it is. Hopefully the Blue Jays got a little late inning magic left in them. JR, I'm sorry, man. We're going to have to actively cheer against your boys today, but I think that the Astros have got to start stringing together some wins. You let this free fall go on too much longer with how many injuries they've sustained. It's not like they're lacking leadership. They've got Alvarez back. They've got Altuve. They've got Correa. They've got some good leadership in that dugout, but you let this skid go on for too long, it starts getting real interesting. Real interesting. Look, it can change quickly. Astros could easily flip a switch, win 7-8 games in a row, and they're right back in the mix looking great. And everybody's back on the Astros train. Inevitable. The Astros are inevitable. You hear it happen every time they win 2 or 3 games in a row. JR, you know this is true. We'll see what happens with the Stros. I mean, clearly we're not rooting for wins from Houston, but we will see what happens. I wouldn't be counting them out completely, that's for sure. They do have some quality players, and they're resilient. We'll see if they end up stringing them together and hanging on to that division, hanging on to a playoff spot. But Texas, Seattle, playing some real good baseball right now. Am I worried about the M's? I think I said yes. I am definitely, if you gave me all the teams in the AL that are going to make the playoffs, the Mariners would be the team that I'd be worried about the most. I think that, you take that with a grain of salt. I don't think the Mariners are like in some different league than the Rangers. I think the Rangers can hang with the Mariners just fine. But if you're pinning me down and making me pick, I'm going to tell you that the Mariners are the team that probably worries me most. If anything, it's because we would have to go up to Seattle to play games, and we have done so terrible in Seattle over the past several seasons. I can't see Detroit winning at all, and they're the last team I'm probably worried about, honestly. I'm more worried about the AL East and the AL West. I got to say, Detroit is about the least team the least team that I'm worried about. I mean, we've taken care of Detroit both times we played them. Even when we played Tarek Skubal, we strung together some hits. I mean, Skubal is going to be tough, period, but Detroit is probably the least of my worries. I'm more worried about the Blue Jays, the Yankees, the Red Sox. I'm more worried about the Mariners than the Tigers. I think we can handle Detroit. I really do. No disrespect to them. I don't think they're a bad team, but again, you're telling me who am I least worried about? It's Detroit. I think it would probably go least worried, Detroit, Boston, New York, and then Seattle. And look, if Houston makes it and Seattle doesn't, I think I'd probably put Houston maybe right above the Red Sox slightly. And then it would become Yankees, Mariners as the two teams I'm worried about the most. I don't know. There's not a lot of teams that really worry me in all of baseball, honestly. Even in the NL, I'm not really worried about a whole lot of the NL teams either. Do I think the Rangers could get beat by any one of them? Yes. So I just want to make that clear. We're not saying that the Rangers are far and above, way better than all these teams. What we're saying is there's nobody that you really just don't want to run into right now, for me at least. Yeah, the Phillies are good. I think the Rangers can hang with the Phillies. I really do. Milwaukee is good. Clearly, the Rangers can hang with Milwaukee. I think the Rangers can hang with the Cubs. I think the Rangers can hang with the Padres. I think the Rangers can hang with the Mets. I don't see a lot of teams right now that I just would not want to run into. And when you've got deGrom, Merrill Kelly, most likely you're going to have Jacob Latz. You got Jack Leiter, who, if you can line it up, and I think it will. I don't think the Rangers will have home field advantage. I think they'll be able to line it up where you could throw Jack Leiter in a Game 4 at home in a divisional series. That would be huge. That would be absolutely huge. I think the Dodgers are beatable too. I really do. We'll see about the Mets this weekend. We'll see how we do. I think the Rangers can hang with the Mets, though. I really do. One of my favorite lines of all time, Slam to Jackson. High drive. It's tied. Love it. Never gets old. Never gets old. Absolutely. We can beat anyone, but the Mariners have our number in Seattle. Blue Jays are just heating up some as us. Yep. 100%. Grayson says, it's crazy to believe we are only 2 back of the Astros for the lead. It is wild. After, like Brian said, being back 11 games. Holy crap. Have to win the division. You don't want to go in as a wild card and go to Seattle House of Horrors. That's me. I would much rather have home field advantage, win the division, and you do achieve that. You don't have any matchups left with Seattle, so you're going to have to beat them clean by a full game. The Rangers can do it. They control their own destiny. I really do believe that. You win a bunch of games, I think it's going to work out in your favor. But Antonio is correct. The record is awful at T-Mobile. It is awful. Not good. Not good at all. Look, tomorrow we will not be live, most likely, barring some crazy move or news coming out of Rangers Nation or Cowboys World or Texas Longhorns. We'll probably take the day off, but we'll have some videos out to you guys over the next 48 hours. I'm hoping to put 2 videos out. one that is going to preview deGrom Day on Friday, one that recaps, and maybe I'll do a This Day in Rangers history. If I can get 3 videos out in 48 hours, I'm going to be really, really proud of myself, and I hope you guys reward me by going and checking them out. I would appreciate you giving it that like, dropping a comment, even if it's just to say, what's up, man? Go Rangers. It all helps, and it all means a lot. So thank you again. Richard, we got this hat on New Era. New Era, baby. Go download the app, and they'll give you a little bit as well. Like and comment, huge. Huge. I know it seems like a really small, petty thing, but look, there's many ways to support the show. Just double tapping, hitting that like button, and dropping a comment is huge. Letting the video play out a little bit, getting that watch time up. I really appreciate it. I really do. I know some of y'all are going to watch all the way through anyways, but it means a lot. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And look, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. Going to go eat some dinner, hang out with the family tonight. Should be good. Kind of nice to relax a little bit on a midweek evening here. Day off tomorrow. deGrom Day on Friday. College football on Saturday. Cowboys playing division rival on Sunday. It is going to be great. It's going to be great. I am so excited about the next few days ahead to end this week. Appreciate all y'all hanging out. Thank you so much. You help keep the show fresh with all the comments, and I'm just so grateful we don't take any support for granted. I know, like the A-frames, just can't do the trucker style. Yeah, this is a trucker style, by the way. I think they do have some that are not trucker style that look just like this. The truckers have been growing on me. They've been growing on me. I didn't used to be a big trucker guy, but the truckers are growing on me, especially the A-frames. Hey, JJ, appreciate the kind words, man. Appreciate it. That means a lot. Keeps me going. And thank you, guys. Slam to Jackson 100%. I'm always going to be here, barring something big going on with the fam or something crazy going on with work. We'll be here every day after every game, hanging out, shooting the breeze with y'all, talking ball. It's what we love. It's why we started this thing. All right, y'all. Have a good rest of your Wednesday night. Love y'all. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.